History of Rome. Some of the stuff I will be covering are facts about ancient Rome, Roman architecture, and sculptures. Ancient Rome. Beginning in the 8th century BC, ancient Rome grew from a small town on central Italy's Tiber River into an empire that at its peak encompassed most of continental Europe, Britain, much of Western Asia, Northern Africa, and the Mediterranean islands. After 450 years of being a republic, Rome became an empire in the ruling of Julius Caesar's rise and fall in the 1st century BC. The long and triumphant reign of its first emperor, Augustus, began a golden age of peace and prosperity. By contrast, the empire's decline and fall by the 5th century AD was one of the most dramatic implosions in the history of human civilization. Romans are Greek influenced. Most of their daily lives were influenced by the Greeks. Rome was known to be called the Eternal City. The Romans called it the Eternal City because they thought that no matter what happened in the world, and no matter how many other empires rose or fell, Rome would live forever. Romulus and Remus. The legend of Romulus and Remus has it that they were both abandoned by their parents as babies and were placed into a basket, which they then put into the river Tiber. They were found by a female wolf, who then nursed them for a short time until a shepherd found them and then took them in and raised them. Once they both became adults, they decided to found a city where the wolf had found them. When deciding where they should found the city, they had some disagreements, which then led to Romulus killing his brother Remus. Romulus then found the city, which he named Rome, in 753 BC. The story is only a legend, but it is a very interesting thing to know. Roman architecture. Much of Roman buildings, like Greek buildings, was done with ashlar masonry, using carefully cut stone blocks laid in horizontal courses. Ashlar is finely dressed masonry that has been cut and worked. It is the finest stone masonry unit, generally cubed or less frequently trapezoidal. Romans were also the first civilization to use concrete. Temple of Fortuna was built in the late 2nd to mid 1st century BCE, and it was dedicated to the god Portunus. Colosseum, also known as the Flavian Amphitheater. It was built by Vespasian, Titus, and Domitian. It was used for gladiatorial contests, public speeches, animal hunts, and executions. The Colosseum measures 620 feet by 513 feet, 1/3 of a mile around. The building covers an area of 6 acres. It has 80 entrances and seated 50,000 spectators, resembling the size and capacity of the Houston Astrodome. Pantheon. The Pantheon was the largest dome building until the 20th century. It was built between 118 and 125 CE. It was a building dedicated to the gods. Pantheon opened in 126 AD, and its architect was Apollodorus of Damascus. 2 kings are buried here, Vittorio Emanuele and Umberto I. As of now, it is used as a church, and masses are still celebrated there. Aqueducts. The Romans also created a very large network of aqueducts throughout their territories. Some of them were miles long, crossing valleys, spanning rivers, going over mountains, and even underground. One of the most famous and best preserved of ancient Rome to this day is the Pont du Gard, which is a bridge over the Gard River at Nimes in southern France. It was built in the 1st century BCE, 1st century CE. Its height is 180 feet and its current length is 900 feet. It delivered between 8,000 to 12,000 gallons of water to Nimes per day, which extended for 31 miles. Sculptures. The Romans got their ideas of sculptures from the Greek, but Greek made statues mostly of idolized heroes. The Roman sculptures focused on individual people, particularly political figures. This is a sculpture of Romulus and Remus. It shows the wolf that found them, and it's nursing them. Julius Caesar, 1st century BCE. The statue is made of marble, it's 38 inches tall, and it can be seen at the Museo Archeologico Nazionale in Naples.